Well, welcome everyone. It's Rob. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you would please type the number 1 in the chat box, let me know that you can. I would greatly appreciate it. Wait, Erica, where are you? Good evening. Wait. Oh, okay, you meant afternoon. I'm like, where'd you travel to? I want to know. Hey, Brenda, how you doing? Morning, Helen. Hey, Charles. Charles, I was on an airplane. Never mind. Hey, Kevin, how you doing? I actually was on an airplane last week, but hey, Robert. Oh, good. Lots of ones. Hey, Ed, how you doing, my friend? You know what? Let me go ahead and bring up my PowerPoint, and let's get through the technical stuff we have to. Did the wheel fly? No, I'm good with the wheel, Robert. All right, let me go ahead and start that. Okay. I think we are all good. Let's see. Hold on a sec. Didn't do a screenshot. I don't know why. Okay, let's try it again. I did not fly out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Nope. I actually flew from here to DC and back. So that was it. Sean and I had to go for an event that we're down there for a couple of days. It's amazing when Google gives a place 4.2 stars and you realize that they added the 4 by mistake. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. Hey, Stephanie. Yeah, it was horrible. Horrible hotel. Horrible hotel. Yeah. Erica said, I really want to know what the heck is going on with the market. I wish it would go up or down. Geez. Yeah, what's going on with the market is the expression, some of you will know this, sell in May and go away, right? We're in June, which is the official or unofficial start of summer, right? I guess depends on the part of the country you're in, right? So with school, there are some places that are out already, some that are getting out now. My kids and my kid is a teacher along with my wife, so they have till the end of June for them to get out. So I'm going away until August then. Well, so Brenda, one of the most profitable months ever for us. It's actually happened 2 separate times. The 2 highest months we've ever had historically in power option plays have come in August. I'm not saying that means August is where the most money is made. I'm just saying that it depends, right? If you can get some directional momentum, and what makes it hard is what we're looking at in a pattern is the ups and downs, and we get to a top, we roll over, we don't see a sight, an end in sight of where it's going to. So these are all, yeah, nice. He's still having data streaming issues. Yep. Okay. So as we do get started, keep in mind everything we look at is for education. Nothing's meant to be advice or recommendations. If you find something you like, anything, make sure it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance. Okay. Yeah, scalping time. Exactly. I got one trade off today, guys, and it was sheer luck. Second one I wanted to take, I missed out on. I saw it, hesitated, was a little aggressive, came back, gave me a second opportunity, hesitated, goodbye. That was the end of that. So whatever trades y'all did today, go ahead and start dropping those in, and I'll pull those up for us in a sec as we go through the rest of this here. Let's see, Inner Circle tonight, which is June 3rd, 7 p.m. Monster Market Movers tonight at 8 p.m. Mastermind tomorrow night at 8 p.m. The S&P 500 Q&A coming up on the 5th. Y'all are crazy if you haven't taken advantage of Brandon's offer for that with the 2-week trial and his quarterly subscription. Y'all are nuts. And then tomorrow with a Q&A is the perfect time to take advantage of those quarterly trials, because you get an extra live training out of it as well, which then is archived and put in the members area for you. So cover calls coming up on Friday night. That's, I think, Tripp's 4th one at this point now that he's done. Power Hour Trading Coaches Playbook on regular schedule. Patterns that provide June 4th, 6th, and 11th. We've got 3 of them up there. And then you've got Pop, Covered Call, E-mini are all on their regular schedule. We dropped a link in there. So go ahead and grab that. And then here's our follow us page. Go ahead and make sure you follow all the various platforms we're on. The second TikTok, the one on the right side, Traders Mental Edge. I think we're getting close to 15 or 20,000 people on that thing now. So that is just taken off. I'm real impressed with what we've got there. Here's our Trading Boss Manifesto, which you can download on the members page, or on the homepage rather, of Wealth Builders. You can download it on robertjroy.com. You can download it on tradinglikeaboss.com as well. And then discover how to locate the most profitable chart patterns in Patterns That Provide, right? So I gave you those 3 dates for Tony, so make sure you're there checking them out. Oop, I don't want to show that just yet. All right, drop your trades in, folks. What do you got? What trades did y'all do? Let's see. Trip showed that IWM today, 38.76% in 3 minutes for $552. Qs, and again, everything we talk about is non-funded, right? Qs, 22.5% in 7 minutes, $544. SPY, 98.83% in 10 minutes for $1,360. Excellent. Great job there, Trip. Profitable morning. And Trip, you were in the trading room with us this morning, correct? Yep. So Trip, the trades that we're talking about, and again, all non-funded, right? But the trades that we're talking about were all done in front of a live group this morning inside of our Inner Circle trading room, which Trip is in. Amelia's in there all the time, and Trader Will and Scott and Mike and so many others, right? All right, let's see. Jennifer said, taking a break from trading, finding I'm addicted and need to do some other things. Okay. Yeah, and not a bad thing to step away a little bit, and especially as summertime comes. You know, as much as I love weekly options, I hate weekly options. And what I mean by that is, it used to be that I had a 4-day work week where I would trade for 4 days. Friday, I didn't care, except it was expiration Friday. And now every Friday is expiration Friday for 500 plus stocks, ETFs, and the likes, right? So not very excited about having to work every Friday. Don't get me wrong, I love the weekly options on them. But man, it was so much better when I could say, oh, I'm not going to trade anything new today, so I can just take the day off and walk away. So there's nothing wrong with doing that, Jennifer, to kind of clear your head, you know, get some batting practice in. And keep in mind, you know, I talk about this all the time. Learning how to trade should not be learning how to sit in front of a computer for 8 hours, or even the 6.5 hours the market's open. It should be learning how to trade should become how you can do it in whatever the necessary amount of time is. It could be 10 minutes, it could be 2 hours, but whatever that is for you, because each person is different depending on what they're looking at, strategies, candidates, and so forth. But being able to hone in on that, where you can just kind of do your thing and set back and walk away when need to. Family things arise, you got to walk away. Like we've got a confirmation coming up this week for my niece. So, and part of it is I'm going to miss part of the market hours, but that's okay. You know, I can leave that behind, walk away, and not be fearful of, oh my goodness, what's going to happen now? You know, that's what you want to have, that kind of environment. There you go, Brenda. Same position. Couple of house. I think you meant hours a day and let it go. Yeah, I agree. Eric said $700 on AMD today. Non-funded trades, of course, right? I made a small profit on Apple today, 4%. AMD was a put. Nice, very nice. Yeah, Stephanie said, I always have my worst trades on Mondays, thinking I may not trade on Mondays any longer. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, it all comes down to psychology, right? And every bit of it is what you have to deal with, as well as what you believe to be real, right? You know, if you live on the beach, right? You're in Florida, you're in Miami, let's say, you're right on the beach, and you're on a condo, ocean facing, you're on the 30th floor, right? if you're on that 30th floor and you're having a panic attack because you believe a shark is coming to get you, the likelihood of a shark getting up that 30th floor elevator into your apartment is slim to none, right? But that doesn't make it any less real for you that's going through it and dealing with it at that point, right? People have these issues all the time, right? And it's no different when it comes to what your perception is on how you see yourself and what you do during trading. One of the biggest things for me as a brand new trader was meeting with a trading psychologist who came to my house and just fingers stuck me down like I was back in Sister Mary Ash's or Sister Virginia Ann's class in Catholic school, grammar school. But he opened the door and he looks at me and goes, "What's this?" I said, "What's what?" He said, "How are you dressed?" I said, "What's wrong?" He goes, "Did you take a shower yet today? Your hair looks kind of messy." I said, "Well, that's why the baseball cap is on." He said, "You brush your teeth?" I said, "I brushed my teeth." He said, "Listen, go upstairs, jump in the shower, comb your hair, and put on the clothing that you used to wear when you worked. I ain't wearing a damn suit." And he said, "But you didn't wear a suit, did you?" I said, "Okay, I had to wear slacks and a button down, no tie, no jacket." He said, "Go get dressed that way." Okay. Got dressed, came back down into my office. He said, "First thing that you're struggling with right now is your idea of success has been what you showed up to every single day for the last 20 some odd years of your life, whatever it was, that you showed up to work." Right? He said, "You're not showing up any longer like that. So now you're coming like a bum. I don't have to comb my hair. No one has to see me. It doesn't matter if I brush my teeth for 17 weeks in a row or not. Nothing would matter, right? Because you're in your office all by your lonesome, right? Because that's the very first thing that you're going through." He said, "So you need to reset your mind." And ultimately, I was able to move away from that. But every day I would get up and put on slacks and a button-down shirt, and that was me and shoes, dress shoes, and that was me prepared to do battle, right? Prepared to sit in my office and trade. So that was the very first thing. Second thing was, like, I find it very stressful is not the right word, but uncomfortable right now. As I'm sitting in my office, I have no music on in the background. Normally I have something very, very, very low that you can't hear it, right? It's the lowest setting I can get on the computer, which is a 2 on my system. And it's there. I'm hearing it. It's in my ear, but I find myself getting nervous without it. And again, one of the things that he had told me was I needed to have what he called structured noise, not kids screaming, not dogs barking, not phones ringing, music, and not even just talking. If it was just talking going on in the background, like talk radio, bad, right? But TV, right? Different voices, different inflections, different scenes. He said, even if you're not watching, one of my favorite shows ever has been Law and Order, right? I watched it for a very long time, every episode that had ever come out, up to the point of me going, I had enough Law and Order, right? I would watch it multiple times. I would record every one of them on DVR and I would just run them in the background, right? And I can't watch them any longer. It's just, I've watched enough of them. I'm done with them. But having that structured noise was important to me. For some, having noise in the background will drive you nuts, right? And I'm not saying my way is the right way. It's just the way that works for me. So everyone needs to find and figure what is best for them in their trading, in their life, as far as whether it's noise or how much time you sit there, the types of trades that you do and do not take are all going to be extremely important, right? But based on you and your personality, not based on me or any set of rules. Yeah, Robert, exactly. Take that damn sweatsuit off. Yeah, Tripp said, I saw a quote today, dress like you own the bank, not like you need a loan from it. Right. And I've seen it where dress like you own the bank, not like you owe the bank. Yeah, okay, I don't like noise. Yeah, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Jim said, fantastic information, makes sense on all of it. Good. So, and again, the mental clarity part of it, realistically, guys, if you're in TradingView, I did a presentation called mental preparedness, however the right way to pronounce it is. I think it's probably the best presentation I've ever done in my life on anything. And I've shown it over a couple different times. We've gone over it in Mastermind, and the likes. And realistically, it's how to get your brain set and ready every single day for the things for doing battle, which is what this is. You're doing battle, right? Whether it's a physical battle or an emotional battle, it's still battle. So you have to be prepared no matter what it is. Yeah, one of my favorite statements is trader, know thyself. Yep, exactly. Exactly. All right, so let's see what we've got here. So Amelia sent a trade into us today on ABBV. She did 5 contracts. You could see that she bought at 9.53. This morning, a 160 call at 5.55, which is right here. And she sold it at 10.09, call it 10.10, so 17 minutes or so, at 6.15. So 45, 50, 60 cents. Right? Bought at 5.55, sold at 6.15, 10.8% rate of return in 17 minutes. Nice. Very nice. Right? And this is an example of one of the trades from Trip on the Qs today. He got into this position. He got 4 contracts of the calls that were 6.3. So today at $1.51 at 9:37 a.m. That's in the light blue. Exited 2 contracts at $1.98 at 9:43. Exited 2 contracts at $1.72 at 9:44. So, 22.5% overall in 7 minutes. Really nice. They're working on that, Stephanie. Usually it's a day or two on getting the trading coach's playbook listed. All right, today, Costco. Right? So on Costco today, if we look at this, let me bring this in a little bit. I'm going to take the symbol grid down just so we can make it a little bigger on the screen. That's big as I can get, right? So we opened, a slight gap up, small pullback, and then we took off, right? We ran almost all the way up to this 829.5 and failed off of there, right? So if we look at a 5-minute candle on Costco, and put the symbol grid back. It's just easier for me. All right. So we look at a 5-minute candle, and you can see that first 5 minutes on that 9:35. If you put your mouse on the candle, you see at the very bottom, it says 9:35. That's the ending time of candle number 1. That's normally how it's done. Okay? It's on ending time. And then we never got a pullback until here, and then it just got crazy. Right? So now we need to go look at a 1-minute candle. Oh, I grabbed daily. Costco. All right, so, you know what? Let me grab my drawing tools. Just that. I wish Zoom had good drawing tools. Okay. So dot dash line right there, dot line, that is the start of the day. This candle right here broke through that resistance that was there. We came back with a retest and a bounce, right? And the entry was taken there about $1 above that level, which is right about 817.25, give or take. It is an M for murder. I was out well before that, though, Les. Right? And again, all non-funded trades, right? We got the breakout, we got the retest, we got the bounce, we got about $1 up off of it, and we're in that position. Now, if you look at the very high on this candle here, the high right there was 827.91. For ease of math for right now, let's just call it 28. Right? Our high, instead of 827.91, let's just call it 828. Okay? So we got up to 828. We've got a resistance up here at 829.5. So the way that this works, the way that the pop rules to this work, is we would be out $3 below that level. We'd set a stop in place. We'd set a target in place, $3 below that level. If that level right there is at 829.5, so at 826.5, we're out of that trade. What was our high on this candle was 826.90. We're out. And that's on the 938 candle. So it's about a 3-minute entry into the trade, 4-minute entry, somewhere around there. The options were about $21 or so, 21 half, somewhere around there, about 29 on the exit. So give or take, right, depending on how you pulled it off. But yeah, so I mean, overall, nice little setup. I missed out on CrowdStrike today. We had a really nice, gapped up, it ran, it retested, failed, but the failure wasn't great off of that 377. So as I said, it came down, it retested, it dropped, it gave me a second chance. I didn't take it, it dropped. Right? So kind of missed that one out, missed out on that one. What do you mean, Sal? Would I be covering killer covered calls as well today in Power Hour? So the covered calls. So the covered call, you're talking about what Tripp is doing here on the 7th? Because that's kind of I wouldn't call it a Q&A. Tripp is redoing all of the training materials, which were mine, and putting his spin on how he trades them and the nuances he uses. So that's what that class is about on Friday. Oh, okay. Got it. Got it. Yes. Okay. Got it, Paul. Yep. Okay. I understand. Yeah, I just didn't get to that page yet. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna ta-da, killer cover calls, right? Which we spell with a lower K. We just haven't got there yet. But yes, we will do that today. Absolutely. Yep. So let's go over, take a look at the markets. Let's go look first at the S&P 500 and see what the heck is going on with that. Let's go back to a daily chart, though. All right. So we're looking at the S&P 500. We are on a daily chart right now. I'm going to make an absolute mess here. I know it. So let's take today off. Okay. Let's take today off. All right. So on Friday, we had a nice recovery bounce. We closed below on Thursday, this candle right here. Thursday the 30th. We closed below the 21, barely. Right? On Friday, we opened up a little bit. We wound up stretching down to this fib line, that the 118, and then a great bounce, blew right through the zero line, headed back up towards the 618, the purple line. But we did get barely above the 8 moving average, barely into bullish territory on the close on Friday. Okay. Today, we get a nice gap up. People are screaming and hooting and hollering. The market is wonderful. Life is good. We're going back up again. And then just as fast as we go up, we come down. So if we go over to a 5-minute chart of the S&P, we gapped up, a little bit of a hook down, came back up, put in a higher high for the morning, and we've just stair-stepped ever since to the downside, right? So overall, not an easy day for trading with what's going on today. It's very much the definition of difficult. It's very much the definition of summertime trading, actually, is when you get to this time of year, right, with what's going on. So right now we're sitting in what looks like will be if we stayed right where we are, bullish neutral bias, right? I like that we gapped up and got above that 52.91, that 618, which is part of the ABC pattern. I like that we were able to get there. So now what are we looking for? Now you have to start asking questions. And the questions are, how are my highs and how are my lows? we had a high here, and then we put in a higher high, right? And now we've come down and we put in a low right there. We came back up, we put in a lower low. We put in lower high, my bad, lower high. We put in a lower low here. If today, I can't really count this one, but if today ended right here, right where it is, that would be our lower high. So the question you're asking yourself is, do you see a shift in candle momentum? And right now, the shift is showing overall bearish. So once you've done that, and you've been able to objectively step back and say, okay, I see this happening right now. And now, not here, right up in the computer, get away from it a little bit, back up. Some people roll their chair back a foot or two from the computer even further to get more of the bird's eye view instead of the tunnel vision type view. If you're looking at lower highs and you're looking at lower lows, well, what's my next setup here? Well, I'm sitting at a 21 moving average right now. We may close, we may bounce, we may just sit there and break tomorrow. But either breaking the previous low, which is right down here, or the previous high, one of those two things are going to be important for me to pick a momentum of where I want to take that trade. Now, granted, you may say, oh, but Rob, if I wait for it to get all the way down there, it might be too late. You know what? It might. But right now, where am I? Okay, you ready for this? Watch. Very unconventional way how I'm going to use this. Y'all see where we're sitting right now? Literally 50% of the distance of the recent swing high and the recent swing low. We are right in the middle. So those that go, oh, I see it going up. And then the other camp goes, oh, I see it going down. And you might be right. Either of you might be right. Both of you at some point will be right. But we don't have a lot to go on today. Right? That was not a place I want to draw a fib. I just did it only so you could see what it looked like and the reason why I wanted you to see that. So I don't have a clear and concise reason for taking this trade right now, bullish or bearish. We're bouncing off the 21. Okay, so isn't that bullish then, Rob? Could be, but now you get to the obstacle course effect. You got the fib line right above us. You got the 8 moving average just above that. There's a lot of stuff happening here. A lot happening right now. So step back, look at the overall pattern, make some decisions based on what you see. Now, if we closed here, let's say we closed here. If you saw this at the end of the day today, if you could pick what you'd want the market to do tomorrow, go up or go down, what would it be? And I don't care what your answer is, by the way. You're not wrong. That's what you want, based on what you see in this chart. Would you want it to go up or down? I know I'm stretching some of you. I made you type 2 letters now instead of 1 number. Now, what's this guy doing? All right, so let's see. Jennifer said, I wanted to go up, but based on the chart, I think it goes down. Erica said, I wanted to go up. Okay. Jim said, since I see 2 lower highs, I would think it would be going down tomorrow. And that's what you think it would do, Jim. But if you had your choice, what would the best trading opportunity be for you tomorrow, Jim? Would it be for the market to go up or for the market to go down? I agree with you, Erica, and I'm not going to say it yet. Okay. It is somewhat true, Jennifer. I wish you would do something. I'm a bit annoyed at this point. Um, Wait till it opens, see what the candle gives us. Okay, Jim, if you're running for political office, man, you're spot on, baby. So if I'm sitting here in all honesty tonight, and this is where we close, and I look at this and it's okay, where would I prefer this to open tomorrow? Down or up? Personally, I would prefer to open down. Why? Look at the obstacle course ahead of you. Well, if we get an open to the upside tomorrow, I've got a fib line, I've got the 8 moving average, I've got the 618, I've got the recent swing high. To the downside, woo, I've got nothing, baby. Clear open road. I'm not dodging around stuff that's flying at me, as I'm trying to get to my destination. The destination here is pretty clear. So if we got to move to the downside tomorrow, say we close here today, we break the 21, retest the 21, fail off the 21, ding, 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 ding. I love it. Then that would be the direction I'd be looking to take the trade. Would be bearish. I would love that. Fail, retest, drop. I'm a retest trader, not a breakout trader. If you're a breakout guy, gal, then go for it. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Right? Just not the way that I traded. If it moves to the upside, my first question is, okay, so now it moves up. Now what? Okay, we hit resistance. Now what? Well, what if it backs off? Well, now we can trade the downside. Oh, obstacle. 21 moving average right there. Well, what if it breaks it? Okay, and comes back up and might break back through. See, it's not the same. It's not the same, right? All right, so that's fine. We're going to watch it. It moves up. It pushes. It retests and bounces. Oh, wait, we got the 8 moving average. Maybe you took it, maybe you didn't. Now you're already up here. You get the pullback. You see what I'm saying? It's much more ugly for me as a trader to want to take this one to the upside than it would be to take to the downside. So I would use the 8 moving average. But, if I had a confluence right there, and tomorrow we move down, retested and dropped, and I took the trade there, I would do 10 contracts as my example, meaning it would not be an aggressive entry, it'd be a full entry. Because I do not have that confluence there. If we broke, retest the 21 and fail, I'll take the trade, but 4 contracts. Smaller number. Maybe 2, maybe 1. Whatever suits you is fine. Let's see. It would be, since if it goes up to the 56.21 and then fail. Yeah, and there we go. So I didn't see your comment there, Jim, until just now. Right, Brenda, too many obstacles in the way. Absolutely. Right? Go down, please. Well, yes. So, and that is without a doubt, Jennifer, that is a problem, right? Jennifer wrote, but also counterintuitive to what we have been taught all of our life about going long, right? You buy and hold. Buy the stock, you bought it for 20, it went up to 25, you made $5 a share, or 6 or 10, or whatever the number is, it went up, okay? Or NVIDIA, you bought for 200 and sold for 900 or 1,000. Exactly, okay? That is what we have been taught as an investor. That's what we've been taught is the way to do this. And that's where the game of trading shifts everything about the belief system that you already have in place, right? At least it does for me, because my belief system, I need to let it go. It's not a matter of let me ask you this. Give me a 1 for yes, a 2 for no. If you have a trade that, let's say, whatever the stock is, and I'm going to just make numbers up instead of trying to find a pattern, okay? Let's say that my opportunity on the downside here is $10. My opportunity on the upside to resistance is $3. Okay. It's $3 to the upside, which means you'll get about $2 of the move because you're going to get in a little bit after it bounces. You're going to get out before it hits resistance, right? Give me a 1 if you would be upset, and give me a 2 if you would not be upset. And here's what it is. Would you be upset if, because this only moved $2 when you could have made $10 on the downside? Would you be upset for only making $2? Give me a, I forgot what numbers I even said now. I said 1 and 2, but yeah, just give me a yes or no. Don't give me 1s and 2s. Would you be upset if you could only make $2 on this trade? Right? And hell no, we won't go. Right? No, not at all. No, not upset. I made $2. Exactly. And that's the way I'm looking at it. Right? So again, it comes down to mental clarity, to mindset. Okay. I don't know. Well, I do know why. I've listened to Tony Robbins stuff for years, right? I've listened to many of his events that he has taught. I've got all kinds of access to all kinds of his trainings that he's done. And I started listening, or I'm looking into this one thing for my health right now. And I heard that Tony Robbins used it. And I found a video of him on this machine. It actually wasn't him on the machine. It was what I believed might have been a son, if not a grandson. He's probably about 15 or 18 years old. So I don't know. Tony's in his 60s right now. So, I find myself right now listening again to a lot of Tony's materials. And the biggest thing that he talks about over and over and over again is mindset, right? And that's a mindset thing. If you get stuck on, hell yeah, I'm pissed off because excuse my French, I could have made $10 if it just did what I wanted. Instead, I got stuck and I only made 2. You can't look at it like that. Remember, you are not in the game. You're not in the game. You're on the sidelines. You are on the sidelines. You have to take what the market gives you. When that quarterback is moving down the field, you follow along with that quarterback. You're not calling the play. You're not in the huddle, right? You have no idea what's going on with the big boys and big girls, at the big boy and big girl tables, right? We just get to follow what the market does. If you look at an NVIDIA and we're up $36 today, and I'm very annoyed because I was going to buy it before earnings, and I said, I just think this is going to explode. Did not. Of course, why would we buy it at 900? We'll wait till it gets to 1140 before, anything, right? So, but if you found a way to say, okay, I'm going to trade NVIDIA today, right? I've got a very systematic approach to what I'm going to do. I believe that because the S&P 500 was going down today, it ran up to this high and went down, and NVIDIA made the similar type of move where it ran up and fell, right? So now I take NVIDIA down to a 5-minute candle. And I watched it. We broke up, we failed, we pushed up, we failed, we retested, and we failed. So in this failure point, somewhere over here, if you took it, did you take a little bit of heat? Yes. Would some of you have been stopped out? Probably, for setting stops way too tight on an $1,100 position. Okay. But even if you waited, we moved up, we retested, boom. I mean, we're talking about a move that came off of $1,138 down to $1,120. So a $20 move in here, right? Off of that resistance level. Wonderful, right? So is it the best trade to take? No. Is it counter market? Well, the market overall is flip-flop right now, right? Today, the market gapped up and ran down. Well, NVIDIA gapped up and moved down. So why can't I take advantage of that type of a setup in there? Folks, you see where I'm going with this? You can't go into this with this very dictator attitude of it has to do what I say it has to do now, period, the end, right? You have a plan, but there are contingencies. What would you do if you were driving to work and they closed the road down that you normally take, one of the roads down you normally take to work? Would you just turn back home and tell your boss, sorry, couldn't go to work today, they closed down one of the roads? The boss is going to say, did the other roads around your house all get closed too? Why don't you take one of those? It's a different road, a different path, right? This is a different path, but the goal is to get you there. Right? Let's see. Erica said, I bought way ahead of today, right after earnings. Good for you. It is a big gap to fill. Jim said, zoom out a little on SPX. It appears to be setting up for head and shoulders. We're talking about on the daily, Jim. So it could be. Right. So of course it disappears on a line chart, but that would be the shoulder. But so you've got your left shoulder is here, your head. This could be a right shoulder, and I like that they're slanting downward. Go to 328. Oh, wrong button. Oh, yeah. I mean, Jim, you're talking about really big picture investment style. Yeah, I mean, could be left shoulder, head. But if that's the case, we've got weeks long before we get to the next shoulder. So it's very possible. Not saying it'll happen, but this one I'm seeing from your next politician. Jennifer, we need to be flexible. You've got great examples. Good. I appreciate it. I'm glad it helped you. I'm glad it was helpful. All right. So S&P 500, guys, a lot happening with it, but it's all a matter of how do you zone in on it? How do you look at this and make decisions based on, I'm going to do this, I see that, and I'm going to do this because of that, right? It's having that plan that I love. You know, my wife and our wedding song, I don't know if people do it anymore today, but our song when we were dating was "The Glory of Love," right? Peter Cetera, which is, I love the song Karate Kid, right? Mr. Miyagi. Okay, one of my favorite. I love Mr. Miyagi. One of my favorite expressions from Mr. Miyagi is "Best block, no be there." Just get the hell out of the way, right? How do I get out of the way when stuff is happening? You have to have a plan. Okay, so I know that, and today I pulled out of my house to go to the track this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30 rather this morning, sorry. And I'm getting ready to make a left, and there's a school bus stop. And I know with where they're at, the person's home that they're stopped out in front of needs extra help, the child that they're there to pick up, which is why they're there very early. So instead, I went straight across the street, got to the next corner, made a left, and bypassed that whole thing. I did the zigzag in the back roads by us, but I had another plan in case something happened for getting to my destination, right? No different when you're trading. What's the plan? Brendan said, thanks for giving us more ways to look at the chart and make a better trading decision. Excellent. Yeah, good, good. All right, so let me take you over here. Killer covered calls, right? Guys, I wish somebody would have pulled me on the side as a brand new trader and said, directional trading is awesome, but cash flow is where it's all at, right? I chased after the big dollar trades, the high price stocks at that time, all this crazy, nutty, silly, stupid stuff, right? And had I just focused on cash flow, I'd have another zero in my account today than I do now, right? There are different cash flow strategies that you could focus on. Which one you choose is totally up to you, right? But I am a tremendous fan of, let's see, cash flow. I'm a tremendous fan, first and foremost, of covered calls. You've got naked puts. You've got iron condors. You have credit spreads. Diagonals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And these are not in a particular order other than I am a big fan of all of them, but I really do truly love covered calls. But I don't necessarily like covered calls just for a week. And what I mean by that is I don't do this with the intent of being in and out this week and the stock is gone and I'm done. If it happens, it happens. But I spend a lot of time finding a good candidate. I'm not looking to get rid of it the same week if I don't have to. So it's something I want to manage and work through if at all possible, right? When you look at covered calls, what has to be done for a covered call, right? Right? Let's see rules. You're going to buy to open or own 100 shares of stock. What I'm not going to write down here is all of those 100 shares need to be in the same account. You can't have 12 shares in grandma's account and 13 shares in your kid's account or anything like that, right? Sorry about that. You can't do that. It all has to be into one account. All right. So buy to open BTO or own 100 shares of stock or 100 share increments of stock. Then you're going to sell to open. See the phrasing, both of these are open. One contract, one option contract against the stock. What does that mean? You're putting yourself in an obligation mode. You're selling somebody or giving somebody you're taking on an obligation, giving somebody else the right to take that stock away from you at a set price. Right? So, and we'll look at an actual example. It may not be the best candidate for a covered call today. Just going to use it for the math purposes of it. All right. So if we go over and look at GameStop, right now, I do not. Let's do this. Let's do it here first. I am not an advocate for going long on GameStop. Okay. But we are in this massive play mode again. Okay. So there are strategies I do like for this one, which are more naked puts than I do cover calls. And if I get put the stock, you put the stock. But I mean, we're trading right now at 29.77. You can see the gap up and the fail today. They've got earnings coming up in a few days. So that would negate me from doing this just alone based on the earnings, right? And the fact that it's GameStop, right? AMC, let's give it a moment. Oh, there's the pop today, right? So we took this $5 stock all the way up to 12 bucks and brought it right back down to 5 again. Reddit's on fire, okay? But they already had their earnings, okay? So we could look at this one here as an example, all right? So low enough price stock. So let's go over and do AMC. Come on, why are you not being cool with me on this? Let me get rid of the 1 and go back to a 5. All right, there we go. Odds are more better. Odds are much more better. In the infamous words of Mr. Schwartz, my shop teacher. Right, so what am I looking for? First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a pen. I'm going to make some changes. I'm going to change the color around a little bit to white. Maybe yellow. Let's see. All right, so the stock right now is trading at $4.84. It's up 51 cents. When I am looking at covered calls, I am looking for a delta of 40. A delta of about 40. So here's my delta column. I've got 38. Robert, if I do a 50 delta, man, I can get 42 cents for a 50 delta. The problem with 50 delta is a probability calculator. There's a 50% chance you're going to be right in this trade. It actually says there's a 50% chance you're going to have intrinsic or cash value in this position. So you want to avoid that. I like that 40 delta. Could you go lower? Could you make up your number of what best suits you? From years and years and years of doing this, 40 is really the best one. So we've got a delta of 38 in there, right? You're going to pick up 32 cents on this position, and this expires in 4 days, right? This upcoming Friday is when the expiration is. So when we look at this, we want to have we're going to sell out of the money options, right? So we're selling out of the money options, which are higher than the stock price, right? Stock is trading at 4. We're going to sell the 5, right? Now, notice I didn't even say what strike that was because it doesn't matter. The delta predicts everything. Delta says this is what we're going to work with. So we're going to, in this case, buy to open 100 shares at 485, right? Which what it just showed right there for last, right? Then we're going to sell to open the June 7th $5.50 call for a total of 32 cents. Just going to take the mid price. All right, so what have we just done? We'd have to lay out $485 to be able to buy the stock. And on top of that, someone's going to pay us 32 cents for the shares, for the option that we're going to sell. They're going to pay us 32 cents. So if we look here, cash in, right? Cash in is the profit in my pocket. So 0.32 divided by cash out is 4.85. That gives me 6.59, 6.6% rate of return on this position for a week, right? And this would be AMC. I'm not saying you should buy this. I told you, I said this is probably not going to be in a great position, right? But 6.6% for the week, which is pretty dang good in my book, right? At 6.5% for the week. Right? Let's look at, excuse me. Let's look at US Steel. A little bit higher price stock, definitely. Okay. So it's at 38.35, right? So let's go over to TradeStation. We'll put an X. And then we're here. So now, looking at US Steel. And we're going to buy to open 100 shares at 38.37. I'm going to sell to open an option. Which option? Don't know yet. Haven't looked. All right, we're going to go find that 40-ish delta, 34. We're going to get 34 cents for that option. So the 39s. So we're going to sell to open the 39s. Sell to open the $39 calls at 34 cents. All right. So now what's that work out to be for us with our numbers? Cash in is 0.34 divided by 38.37. Ooh, that's less than 1%. It's 0.8, it's 0.08. 0.008. So it's less than 1. You get that squiggly around there somewhere. Nope. Let's see. Less than 1%. But remember, that is for the week. So it's actually 0.8. So 86. It's a little over 3% for the month, which I'm okay with. All right. Now, I'm not saying AMC is good. I'm not saying US Steel is good. I just grabbed 2 companies off the top of my head. Right. US Steel is one that I used to love to trade. Wheel of Fortune was amazing setup on there. But basically, it's finding the candidates. And right now in this market, because of the lower VIX, it's a little bit more work to find good candidates, right? Which is one of the things that Tripp does an amazing job of. When he took over Cover Call Explorer, he made some adjustments, some tweaks to what he was looking to do there, and he's crushed it with his candidates. The best part of it is I don't need to go do my own research any longer. He does it for me. So just getting those candidates spoon-fed to me in the 20, 30-minute video. Yes, Brenda, the 42 would be closer. The problem with the 42 is it's above 40. So we don't ever want to do above 40. So, you'll make that. Oh, look at that. No. So that's weird. So bad data in there. I'm seeing a Dutch talking strike, but I don't want to do a 42 delta, but you are right. I wasn't even looking there. I just go straight down top to bottom. I didn't see that. That's just bad data inside of there. So that was a good catch. I just assumed that the one above the 35 delta was 42. So yes, you would be further away. But again, look, there's something off there. This option is just not real. There's just something is whack when it comes to this. I don't know. Yeah, 80% annualized. Exactly, Robert. Good. Tripp said this past Friday, Tripp is doing a bonus class every Friday night to get through all of the materials inside of Cover Call Explorer for the live trainings that he's doing. And those materials, I actually just spoke with Sean this morning. He's going to replace what's in the members area now with those. So whatever Tripp's done, he's going to pull the ones I've done out and put the ones that Tripp has done in their place. Okay. And last week, they did Wheel of Fortune, one of the strategies that we teach in there. And they went through Delta and the likes of how to use it and so forth inside of there. So I'm a big fan of using all the tools I can get to my advantage, everything. And that's in anything I do in life. It doesn't matter. I mean, talking to my kids as kids when they were growing up, I was very good at getting them to clean their room or whatever it was I wanted them to do. Because I never said, go clean your room. No. Okay, go to bed then. Go, you're punished. Never did that stuff. For me, it was always, would you rather clean your room or help me clean the garage? You don't have to clean your room. I don't care if you clean it or not. Would you rather help clean your room or help me clean the garage? Oh, I clean my room. Okay, so go do that. Okay. It was just whatever tool I can use in my toolbox, right? My wife hates it when I use psychology against her in a conversation. She's like, you can't do that to me. That's just not fair. Okay. So any tool in your toolbox, whatever you can come up with, whether it's your health, whether it's your kids, whether it's trading, whatever tool is in the toolbox to make it better for you, right? These are the tools that we use. Okay. There is a watch list inside of Omega Charts that is all the way down to WBHQs. Cover calls. All right. So there's 21 candidates inside of there. Okay. But you still need to go through and do your own analysis. The nice thing is Tripp's already done it all for us. So it's finished. It's complete. It's ready to go. I get the video. I get the document. I could just go through, make all my trading decisions right off of that document, right off of that video. Of course, I'm going to look at the charts still for myself. Okay. But I don't have to go do all the analysis to find the candidates for myself either. I'll tell you why. Andrew, can you drop in a link to Covered Call Explorer, please? And you know what? Yeah, put that in there and then put the link to support at wealthbuildershq.com in, for the email address. All right, admin, you there? So here's what I will do. And if he doesn't get in there, I'll just tell you what to do. Here's what I'm going to do in honor of what Tripp is doing right now. So on our quarterly subscription to Covered Call Explorer, there's normally a 2-week trial for that. Anybody that goes ahead and give you an hour after we're done today. So by 2 o'clock today decides to take that trial, I will increase that trial to 3 weeks from 2 weeks. You're just going to send an email to support, right? You'll send an email to support and tell them, hey, Rob said I could get this if we got in by 2 o'clock today, and we'll extend that out where you will have 3 weeks of trial, not 2. Keep the subscription, don't keep the subscription, up to you. Best part of it is with 3 weeks, you'll get to go to this week's class, next week's class. I don't know if there's going to be a 6th one. It's either 5 or 6 we were doing. But you'll at least get the next 2, this week and next week's, that you'll be able to go to as part of that. Tripp said there's 3 more left. So you would actually have enough time to get to each of the 3 classes in there and see the next 3 live trainings he's going to do on individualized strategies for each of the components inside of Covered Call Explorer. And the other ones, of course, are all in the members area. So excellent. All right. So Andrew, Lee, I know you're still working off a Lee email address. Andrew's a newer admin for us here, folks. Sorry, we're just struggling a little bit to get him to get that out. Send an email to support. Say, I want to take advantage of this. They will get you set up on that trial, and they will make sure it's a 3-week 3-week trial for it. So, all right, everybody, it looks like we hit that time. So you have a great rest of your day. God bless, and I'll see you all at our next update. Take care, everybody. See you soon. Bye for now.